Hi, Intro to Calc. This is 5.2, Day 2. Let all functions on this page be continuous. So we have an integral from -1 to 1 of f dx. And remember that just means the area between f and the x-axis ends up being 5 units. The change in area is 5. The next one is the exact same bounds, but it's a different function, and that change in area is 10. And you get another function, same bounds, and that change in area is 14. Evaluate the following. All right, problem number 1. We want the integral from -1 to 1 of 7 times f of x dx. So we already know that the area, the change in area under f, is equal to 5 units. And so this 7 that's being multiplied by f makes your function taller. All of those y values are 7 times taller. And so that changes your area by multiplying it by 7. So 7 times 5 is 35. Number 2, this uses the g function, and this is doing both a vertical stretch and a reflection. So that's going to multiply that area by -3. Number 3 is doing a vertical shrink, so it's going to be 1/2 of the change in area of h, so that area is 7. Number 4, this function is creating a new function of the f and the g values, which is to say that you're kind of like stacking the g function on top of f because those are adding those values together. And in doing that, it really does add up the areas. So you'll add 5 and 10, and it makes 15. Number 5, you'll subtract those areas. So 10 minus 14 is -4. In the next series of questions, it's helpful to think of this as a picture, so I'm going to take a second and draw the picture. And it's all dealing with the exact same function, but it's changing it so that you're going from -2 is the lowest and 4 to the highest. The integral from -1 to 1 is a positive change. So I'm going to just draw it like this. I don't actually know that it's circular. I'm just doing this to represent the value of 5 and that it's above the x-axis. The next one from 1 to 4 is 7. So that should be a little bit bigger. And the integral from -2 to -1 is -2. So I'm going to draw it down here and throw in the area of 2. Evaluate the following. So you want the integral from -1 to 4. So starting all the way over here and finishing here, I have to add up those two areas. So 5 plus 7 is 12. The next one is from -2 to +1. So I'm starting here and ending here. You've got a -2 plus 5 is +3. Number 9, what's interesting about this one is that your bounds go from 4 to -2, and we're used to seeing the lower number down here and go to the higher number. So there's two things that are happening. First, I want to consider the area from -2 all the way to 4. So we have -2 plus 5 is 3 plus 7 is 10. But that is us reading our graph from left to right. But when the integration bounds are flipped and you read it the other direction, your area is turned opposite. So your final answer here should be -10. And the reason for that, the reason that it's opposite, is because the rectangles, remember how there's these invisible rectangles that fill up all of these spaces? The rectangles have a width that's negative because you're taking the width from right to left instead of from left to right. You're doing it's just a negative direction because you're going to the left. Okay, so that's it for 5.2 Day 2. Your homework, you guys, is these questions here, 10 through 18. I'm going to look in your binders and I'm going to give you homework points for getting these right.